For 3 years, Daniel Reed carried a grief so heavy that even time refused to heal it. Every Sunday, without fail, he visited the 2 white stone memorials of his sons, Liam and Noah, who had supposedly died in a house fire while staying with his ex-wife Rachel, or so he believed. Daniel had accepted the tragedy, or at least learned to live with it, until one ordinary afternoon, a single sentence shattered the world he had built around his pain. Scene 1. The cemetery encounter. Daniel was placing 2 small blue toy cars on the memorial stones when a little boy behind him spoke. "Sir, why are you putting toys for kids who aren't dead?" Daniel froze. The boy, maybe 9 or 10, kicked at the gravel nervously. Daniel said, "What did you say?" The boy pointed toward the street outside the cemetery. "I saw them yesterday. 2 boys who look exactly like those pictures. They live with that angry lady in the gray house. They always hide when someone walks past." Daniel's heartbeat stopped and then returned like thunder. Liam had a mole above his eyebrow. Noah walked with a slight limp. The boy described both perfectly. Scene 2. A father's suspicion. Daniel had always felt something was wrong with the fire report. The police found no bodies, only remains too damaged to identify. Rachel, his ex-wife, never allowed him to see the site, and within a month, she vanished from the city. Daniel hired detectives. Nothing. But now, a small boy's words sparked a fire inside him stronger than grief. Scene 3. The house on Willow Street. The next morning, Daniel drove to the address the child had mentioned, a small, quiet gray house. Broken fence, curtains always closed. As he approached, he heard something that made his blood run cold. 2 little voices. A laugh he thought he'd never hear again. Liam and Noah. Daniel stepped closer and saw 2 silhouettes in the backyard. A boy limping slightly, and another trying to help him climb a wooden box. His legs almost gave out. They were alive. His sons were alive. Scene 4. The confrontation. Daniel rang the doorbell. Footsteps. A lock clicking. Rachel opened the door. Her face turned white. "Daniel, what are you doing here?" Daniel pushed past her, voice trembling not with fear, with fury. "Where are my sons?" 2 small faces peeked from the hallway. Liam gasped. Noah whispered, "Dad!" Rachel panicked. "Boys, go upstairs!" But it was too late. Daniel dropped to his knees, arms open. The boys hesitated, then ran into him as if their hearts remembered what their minds had forgotten. He held them both, sobbing silently. Rachel screamed, "Daniel, stop! You can't take them!" Daniel stood slowly. "Rachel, you told me they died. You let me bury empty coffins." Rachel broke. "You don't understand. Someone wanted to take them. I had to disappear. Faking their deaths was the only way to protect them." Daniel said, "Who? Give me one name, one proof." She had none, because the truth was simpler and darker. Scene 5. The truth revealed. Daniel's private investigators had been tracking Rachel's accounts for months. Luxury hotels, private resorts, cash transfers. Not a single sign of danger. She hid the boys because the court ordered shared custody, and she wanted full control and full child support. So she lied, burned her own storage house, filed a false police report, ran away with the boys and the money. And Daniel? She let him mourn 2 children who were alive. Rachel collapsed on the sofa. "I thought you'd move on. I thought you didn't care." Daniel whispered, "I never stopped caring. I never stopped searching." Scene 6. Justice arrives. Sirens blared. Daniel had already informed the authorities. 2 officers entered the house. "Rachel Carter, you were under arrest for child abduction, fraud, and obstruction of justice." As they handcuffed her, she screamed, "You'll never keep them! They're mine!" Daniel looked at her with a calm, broken strength. "You stopped being a mother the day you buried me alive in grief." The officers led her away. Liam held Daniel's hand tightly. "Dad, are we going home now?" Daniel bent down, tears in his eyes. "Yes, and no one will ever take you away again." Scene 7. 6 months later. Liam and Noah now lived in a bright, loving home. Therapy sessions, new school, new friends. Slowly they healed. Daniel watched them race toy cars across the living room floor, the same kind he used to place on their empty graves. Only this time, they were alive to play with them. A reporter once asked Daniel, "Do you feel anger toward Rachel?" Daniel answered softly, I felt anger, but what replaced it is stronger. Love makes a father search mountains, dig through lies, and fight the darkest battles. My sons were never lost. They were waiting for me to find them. The camera zoomed out as the boys hugged him tightly. Narrator, never underestimate a parent who loves deeply, because love isn't weakness. It's the force that moves mountains and sometimes brings the dead back home.